This is world famous Shed Aquarium in the city of Chicago, beside one of the 5 Great Lakes of North America, Lake Michigan. And after visiting Shed Aquarium, I am sharing my experience of the indoor aquatic galleries. I was more fascinated to see the corals. The world of corals was so fascinating that I saw for the first time sea anemones, corals, various kinds of fish, clownfish, lionfish, garfish, eel, turtles also, snapper turtle, and most amazing was the octopus, 8-armed cephalopod, giant Pacific octopus, very intelligent creature. After that, I was more fascinated to see beluga whales, white colored, very large sized beluga whales. Another point of attraction was the section on penguins, the flightless birds which live in the Antarctica. There are different penguins, some are restricted to chilly waters, some to coldest waters. Coldest water penguins, for example, king penguin, the emperor penguin, simply cold waters. Also, for example, Gintu penguin. And outside at the gate I found many fascinating flowers, bushes, trees. This is Laditsia. Laditsia triacanthos, popularly called as honey locust. And I am also focusing on bird also, on the branch of this Laditsia triacanthos, and also among the salvia. These are salvia flowers. And sulking bird inside. This is salvia passani. And other side I have the Lake Michigan, and these are the juniperus bushes. And this particular plant is Saltis occidentalis, which I saw at a number of places beside the roadside on almost every street. And this has also been planted outside Shed Aquarium. So major trees which I find at Shed Aquarium are these oaks. There are 2 kinds of oaks, black oaks and white oaks. And distinguishing feature of 2 groups of oaks is the leaves are lobed, and if the lobes are round, then they fall in the category of white oaks. And if the lobes are drawn into spiny or thin extension, then they fall in the category of black oaks. And on the basis of lobing, whether it is shallowly lobed, or it is midway lobed, or it is deeply lobed, we segregate different kind of white oaks. And one of the more prominent oak which I saw even in the zoo of Chicago, Lincoln Zoo. That was bur oak. Bur oak, called as Quercus macrocarpa. The lobing is midway and apex lobe is larger, and if the lobing is too deep, then it is Quercus alba, white oak. And if the lobing is midway and the upper region, upper lobe is broader one, as I find in this, so this can be the bur oak, Quercus macrocarpa. And the lobing is too shallow, only on the periphery in some leaves, then one can safely presume that Quercus bicolor. But in bicolor, we have also to see the underground color. So in this case, underground color, white color is not there. It is simply glaucous. So this is not bicolor. So this Quercus macrocarpa, not bicolor. In case of bicolor, under surface of the leaf is white and upper surface is green. Just moving beside the shed aquarium, I will focus on the beauty of Lake Michigan and the trees which I see here. They are different trees: Gladitsia tricanthos, Saltes occidentalis, even Kentucky coffee trees. In the campus, we also find some of the alliums. Wild alliums have been planted. They add to the glory. And even the Pinus nigra, black pine. And one particular plant which I am focusing now, this is golden rain tree, Colereteria paniculata. Leaves are pinnate, not bipinnate. In case the leaves are bipinnate, then species belonging to Colereteria is bipinnata, which is called Gulabi Tun. In Jammu, we find that tree stands planted. But at Shed Aquarium, beside Michigan Lake, I see more Colereteria paniculata. Even Max, I am able to see Coramax crispus, as the city of Chicago is called the windy city. So wind is also blowing. But before me is Vivernum species. And this is a shore site. While walking near to Shed Aquarium, I saw the beauty of corals, and many of the corals were so fascinating and they were alive, and kids were fascinated to see the beauty of corals, the fish, penguins. And this is Lake Michigan. And you will see the Navy Pier before me, that is across that blue waters with Centennial Wheel also. See, this is the very famous place here, tourist place. People come to during evening hours, and we will see different kinds of water birds, especially the ring-billed gull in these blue waters, and that is Larus delawarensis. Delaware is a river, basically named after the river Delaware. This gull, which I am focusing now, you can see there cloudy sky, and these gulls, a ring-billed gull, they are flying above the Lake Michigan. This is the skyscrapers before me. And also that middle line where you see the aggregation of ring-billed gull. This is the beauty of Chicago. On International Day of Biodiversity, 22nd May 2024, when we focus on biodiversity awareness, it was appropriate to visit world famous Shad Aquarium to have a glimpse of lesser known creatures like sea stars, sea urchins, Pacific giant octopus, different kinds of sea anemones, Matridium, and beauty of Lake Michigan.
The current time is 2:03.
One can see the nicely designed plantation of trees, bushes and shrubs. And also I found this is Viburnum plicatum, basically Japanese viburnum, with the horizontal floriferous branches. Leaves are opposite and they are lobed, and in front also see Arigeron ester, and these are the grassy patches, and other side one can see this Lake Michigan and the row of trees in which dominant tree is Tilia species. Many Tilia species are seen. Tilia americana, basswood is one, which is very prominent here. Kentucky coffee tree is another. Cornus florida is another ornamental bush. And buckeyes. Buck eye means deer's eye. The flowers are gaudy, of different colors, yellow, for example, Asculus flava, Ohio buckeye, that is also the state tree for Ohio, that is Asculus glabra. Another is Asculus parviflora, also hybrids, Asculus cornea, fascinating red. So these trees beside Lake Michigan on one hand and skyscrapers on the other gives a beautiful look to the landscaping. And these green spaces tree dominated spaces. They harbor many different kinds of birds. For example, American robin, red shouldered blackbird, and this is a row of Saltes occidentalis on either side of the track, and there are also alums. But whatever trees now I am passing through, all these are Saltes hackberry, Saltes occidentalis. In Jammu and Kashmir, India, we have Salix, this Saltes australis, but here in Chicago, I found Saltes occidentalis. You can see fruits also there, and each leaf is having oblique base, long acuminate tip, and toothed margin. This is also hackberry. Even the Chicago city has lot of other ornamental bushes, and one is syringa. So this is syringa bushes, fragrant, and this is another plant which is from the family mango family, that is rose, daylilies. What beauty of, I could see many species of syringa reticulata, Japanese, lilac, also pubescens, and while taking a round beside this Lake Michigan, I am enjoying the cool breeze when Indian temperature has gone beyond 40 degrees. Here in Chicago, temperature is not more than 30 degrees. So wind is also blowing, and Michigan water is also very near. So cool winds, pleasant weather. Beautiful skyline, and Shadow Aquarium has enriched my understanding about the marine biodiversity. There are some spireas. This is daylily, Hemeropalus. This is the back side of Shadow Aquarium. Other high-rise buildings. many trees. Flowering is over, but landscaping is mesmerizing. This is the another bird which just flew. It is unique. On International Day of Biodiversity, 22nd May 2024, I will also include in my discussion the presence of unique tulip tree. Tulip tree is basically from the family Magnoliaceae, and like magnolia, there is no distinction into sepals and petals, rather they are named as tepals, perianth, and they are in two birds, 3 each, 3 sepals and petals 3 plus 3. Stamens are indefinite, carpels are also indefinite, and both stamens and carpels are inserted spirally on an elongated receptacle, so they correspond to some primitive characters. In the family Magnoliaceae, presently 2 main genera they are identified. Earlier we had the Michelia champaka, which we see in Jammu also, planted around temples, but that stands merged with Magnolia now. So one genus is Magnolia grandiflora we have in Kashmir, but I am referring to another genus within Magnoliaceae, and that is tulip tree, Liriodendron. Since the flower is just like tulip, cup shaped, made up of 6 tepals, they are fleshy and beautifully orange colored within, otherwise greenish look, greenish orange, and the leaves are peculiar in having the truncated lamina. So this unique plant is called as tulip tree because the tulip like flower has given its name tulip tree. Liriodendron tulipifera, which is declared state tree for Indiana, Tennessee, and is native to northeastern America. That is also seen planted in gardens and parks, also known as yellow poplar or white poplar. I could see great deal of diversity among Cornus species. Cornus florida is one, but another peculiar species which I found for the first time in Chicago, that was Cornus controversa. And another was Cornus alternifolia. The beautiful flowers which fascinated me, they were from Baptisia. Baptisia yellow color flower, Baptisia blue color flower, from 2 different species, and they were also seen planted not only in Lincoln Park but also beside the Navy Pier, and just people are walking towards Navy Pier, and either side they have a walk, stroll along the river Michigan. This is a fascinating landscape where on one side you see the road Other side you see the trail. LFT, that is the lake front trail, and Lake Shore Drive also LSD. And I was just focusing on unique Tilia trees from the family Tiliaceae, now kept under Malvaceae. Even in Kashmir we have a Tilia platyphilus, broad-leaved Tilia, seen in the tulip garden also. We have house sparrow also here. So to acquaint myself, I thought it proper to visit. This is kind of mina with orange front and yellow beak. So landscaping, addition of trees, shrubs, bushes gives a very good camouflage to the birds, and a row of trees on one side and beautiful Lake Michigan on other side. On this cloudy day adds to one's charm, enjoying the cool breeze and also walking. Apart from trees, also found many plants which are herbs. For example, here is Taraxacum, dandelion, there is a starbird, stellaria, there is planchago, there is polygonum, also aviculare. Polygonum aviculare is also seen in Kashmir, and this is also Polygonum aviculare, grossis. So there are trees which are elms also. So this is almus. The almus, huge trees, large size trees. They are elm trees, scientifically identified as almus. Very near to Navy Pier, halfway between Shad Aquarium and Navy Pier. I am walking to show you the tree plantation around and to focus on conservation of biodiversity. So all these trees now, which I am able to see now, they are almond trees, almus. See, each leaf has very prominent venation and margin is toothed. Upper surface is dark green and lower surface is greyish white, and as the wind is blowing, which is justifying the name of the Chicago as a windy city. You see these elm trees. After elm, this might be some other species. There is another elm. This is also elm, but this is having narrower leaf and this is having darker leaf and broader leaf. So many elm species grow here. This is a whole row of elm trees, and I am able to focus on the Michigan Lake Shore Trail. There are Crataegus. Now I am able to focus on Crataegus. Crataegus crusgully. Another is Crataegus phaneropyrum. So many different cultivars of Crataegus, but the Crataegus white flowering, medium sized tree before me shining leaves. It is Crataegus crusgully, which has been planted throughout Chicago along the Michigan Avenue, and you see the white petals of the flowers which have, because wind is blowing and yesterday there was a heavy rain, so there's a white carpeting of its leaves. Leaves grow in umbels. Leaves are dark green above and shining. Below they are light green. And rosaceae plant, popularly called as hawthorn. Hawthorn in Kashmir is called as the ringa, ringakul, and hawthorn in Kishtwar is called as pendok, but that is different species. That is Crataegus songarica. Here I am focusing on other species which is being cultivated as ornamental shrub, and this is again the plantago. Beautiful skyline, and this is a row of hawthorn trees. I could see dolphin for the first time in the Shad Aquarium. We had our dolphin man of India, Professor R.K. Sinha, hailing from Bihar, who was Vice Chancellor of Shri Mata Vaishno Devi University, who has done wonderful work on Indian dolphin, Delphinus gangeticus. But here we have other species of these dolphins, which are, though look fish-like, but they are not basically fish. They are mammals. So I am very near to Navy Pier now, while passing through the hawthorn grove on either side of this trail. So on International Day of Biological Diversity, let us acquaint ourselves with the surrounding biodiversity. Birds, fish, turtles, dolphins, sharks, stingray, scorpions, tortoises, corals, sea anemones. And this is the fascinating view of Lake Michigan, city of Chicago.